Hey here, besties, and today we are going to be making a V-part wig, but I also want to let you know that the steps I'm using here to make the V-part can be applied if you make U-part wigs. The only difference is how you cut it out on the top. So what I'm doing now is just going through and marking out all the extra cap that I will need to cut away so it can be made to her specific measurements. We are not going to be adding combs because she wants this sewed down. So I'm just using a regular barber pencil and going in and making the outline. And I just want to let you know, you're about to see an orange arrow. That's where I'm going to cut down the center for her actual part, because if I cut in that U that I have, is going to be way too big. So I'm going to cut right down the center there. I don't know why I didn't mark it, but for some reason I didn't. So she measured a 14, so that meant that just the front part needed to go off, and I cut it in a way that I can leave the straps. Those straps will let you make it a little bit tighter if you need it, but you can certainly cut those away if you want to. So you can see I only cut down the center, because when you cut in the middle, it opens up so wide. I didn't get this on camera, but I did go back with my measuring tape just to make sure my numbers was correct. And I am going to be using bias tape to go around the cap to make sure it doesn't fall apart on her. You want to reinforce what you just took away. So this is bias tape. You can get it from any of your local craft stores. And I'm doing the top first, the top where the V is at. And you want to start a 1/4 of an inch back, because you want it to look really nice and neat for your client. I'm going to be sewing this down on her, but if I'm mailing this to you, I don't want you to get this and it look all sloppy on the inside. So take your time when adding the bias tape. You want to stop about every 2 inches, and then you want to readjust that cap to make sure as you're sewing it is catching the bias tape. You don't want to have half of it sewn, because it will wear and tear down extremely fast, because the cap will start to fray away. So as you can see, it looks way neater than just attaching those on there. And the reason you started about a 1/4 of an inch back, because now you're going to do the sides, and it should fit right over it. Nice snug fit. So when you see the finish, you will see how nice and neat it's going to look. And you're going to do the same thing. You're just going to go over it with your sewing machine. Take your time to make sure you're catching the cap and the tape. I am using the number 5 stitch, the zigzag stitch. That just kind of helped me know that I am catching it each way. And you want to make sure it's snug up in there too, because it can alter the measurements if it's dropped down a little too low. And once you get that completely on, as you can see, it looks really neat. Like, look like I brought the cap that way. So now I'm just gonna go in and start adding my tracks. You don't want to overstretch the cap when you're sewing the tracks onto it. Just take your time and make sure it's not bunching, but you don't need to stretch it out. It will alter the shape of the piece and it won't fit. I am only using 2 bundles of the 18-inch Yaki from my collection. I did go ahead and dye it this deep chocolate brown as she requested. So I only doubled the 1 row, so only the bottom is double. The rest I did just the single track. But if you have are you doing one for a size small, of course you probably will double both rows, or you're adding 3, you will double it up. But it's totally up to what you are doing with your client. So we are not going to put any combs in this. I don't use the metal clips. Over time, those will rub a bald spot in your head. If you do use those, make sure they're silicone lined. But I am not even going to be adding combs to this piece, which you could if you want to take it on and off, because we are going to be sewing it down. And look how nice and neat this looks. This looks so beautiful. Anyway, so I'm going to sew it down on her head because that's what she requested. And you're going to see the finished results in the end. And if you're looking to get a custom piece made, I have all my contact information linked. So just reach out and we can get started. But if you make wigs, I hope this helped. And if you like this content and you would like to see more, please make sure you hit the like and follow button. I love making these videos for you guys. I just want to know if this is what you guys are looking for me. And if you have a specific topic, leave that down in the comments as well. Once I got it completely attached, I just went in and blended her natural hair in with it. And this is how it came out. It blended so perfectly. It looks so natural. But thank you guys. Bye.